Well, version 1.10, in my opinion one of the most exciting updates in SCR, is finally out. Today I'm gonna give my thoughts on SCR version 1.10.0. Let's get started. So, version 1.10.0 was released on the 27th of August, 2022 at 8:30 p.m. British Summer Time, which translates to 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. It brought in a waterline extension, the upgraded airport area, a new L-Link train, and some other bits. We're gonna start with perhaps what was the most exciting part of the update, and that's the waterline extension. So, the waterline extension apparently has 3 stations instead of 1, which is quite generous of the developers. The stations after James Street are Farley, Rosedale Head, and Esterfield. Here is the new station of Farley. This is a through station, but one route terminates there, Newry Harbour to Farley. I've gotta say, it's quite a nice station. This is inspired by Surrey Quays Station on the London Overground East London Line. At Farley, there is a sign that says, "For University of Benton." Well, here is the University of Benton, located outside of Farley Station. It's quite a nice scenery here. Here's the next station after Farley, called Rosedale Village. I thought it was gonna be called Rosedale Head, and I did call it Rosedale Head earlier on in the video by accident. This station was never sneak peeked prior to its release, but anyways, it's another good looking station. This, plus James Street, are now the 2 stations to be skipped by waterline services, but we'll get to that later. Here is the final station on the new extension, Esterfield. I am quite impressed of how the station looks. I see there is a tourist bus by the station entrance, which could imply that Esterfield is a tourist destination. There is a Class 143 occupying platform 4A at Esterfield, which is quite strange, but oh well. Trains can, however, use platform 4B, just below platform 4A. If you go outside the station, you will see this church with a graveyard and a playground. These are quite good additions to the area. The other 2 stations on the branch, Airport West and James Street, have also been upgraded. Here is the upgraded Airport West. It honestly looks better than the previous Airport West. The sign on the platforms at Airport West says, "For Airport Parkway." This is because Airport West is really close to Airport Parkway, so if you want to change from Waterline to Connect or Airlink or vice versa, you can just walk between the 2 stations, instead of changing at Terminal 2, which we'll get to later. Here is the tunnel portal at Airport West. The left side goes to Terminal 2, yes, Waterline now has a route going to Terminal 2, which we'll get to later, and the right side goes to Farley and Esterfield. Here's the upgraded James Street. Unlike the previous version, this is a fully underground station. I've gotta say, I like it better than the previous James Street. Here are the sidings near James Street. It turns out that the Class 730 at the sidings is just for scenery, and is not used for drivers to spawn a train. The update brought in 4 new routes for Waterline. Here they are. They are Newry to Esterfield. Well, it replaced Newry to James Street, Benton to Esterfield, Newry to Terminal 2, and Newry Harbour to Farley. Interestingly, the Newry to Esterfield route skipped James Street and Rosedale Village, being the first and only route on Waterline to skip stations. There was also a new route on Connect, from Stepford Victoria to Terminal 2. To be honest, I was surprised that Connect and Waterline are going to Terminal 2, but oh well. Some people thought it and the Newry to Terminal 2 route were unnecessary because they ruin the purpose of L-Link, but I think the exact opposite. At least they don't go via Terminal 1 or go to Terminal 3. Another key element of version 1.10 is the fully upgraded airport area. Here's the upgraded Airport Parkway, which looks very similar to Bristol Parkway used by GWR and Cross Country. This is a really good looking station. If you look at this photo, you will see that there is a Class 66 for scenery purposes just outside Airport Parkway. This is not drivable, and I am not expecting freight to come to the game. Here is the car park at Airport Parkway. In the car park, you will see the Tesla Model 3 and the Mark 6 Volkswagen Golf being parked inside. This is not the only place where you'll see them, however. Here is the upgraded Airport Central. I am getting a bit of Gatwick Airport vibes from it. It really is better than the previous Airport Central. There's also a lounge, the third station in the game to have it. The other stations to have it are Stepford Central and Lynn. Another addition to the area is a new signalling center at Airport Central. Here's the upgraded Terminal 1. It's got a concourse in it, which is a good addition to the station. However, what I don't like about it is that the green wall was replaced with a grey wall, which makes the platform area quite bland. But you know, that's what the developers are doing, so we might as well get used to it. Here is the upgraded Terminal 2, which is inspired by Manchester Airport. This is no longer an underground station, but anyways, this is way better than the previous Terminal 2. At this station, and Terminal 3, which we'll see quite shortly, the Airlink trains going to Terminal 3, and Stepford Central from Terminal 3 reverse at that station. I thought that Terminal 2 was gonna be a full terminus station, but it turns out that this is both a terminating station, and a station for some Airlink trains to reverse. Oh, and I took one photo with the Class 345, which we'll talk about later on in the video. Here is the upgraded Terminal 3, which is inspired by Stansted Airport. Once again, better than the previous version of that station. This is another station used by Airlink trains to reverse out, except that at this station, the Class 345 reverses out to Terminal 2. The airport area, plus James Street aren't the only stations to get upgraded. Two Connect stations got upgraded too. These are Coxley and City Hospital. Here is the upgraded Coxley, which looks good I guess. The sidings also got an upgrade. Here is the upgraded City Hospital. Better than the previous version. I honestly wasn't expecting an City Hospital upgrade in 1.10, but it looks like Nephew Ollie's wish for the City Hospital upgrade for 1.10 became true. What a surprise. Anyways, this is inspired by Central Park in Manchester. Now that we're done talking about the new waterline extension and the station upgrades, let's talk about the rolling stock. It looks like the Class 360 did not get meshed for version 1.10.0. Oh well, let's hope it'll get meshed on version 1.10.1. However, the new train added to version 1.10 is the Class 345. It looks quite good on the exterior. What shocked me and a lot of players about the Class 345 is the price. This is the most expensive train on SCR, costing 4,500 points. However, I had enough points to buy, so I bought it. This is the only route that the Class 345 uses. It's a terminals shuttles route, and here is how the route works. Note that the route calls at Terminals 1 and 3, only for trains going from Airport Parkway to Terminal 2. It looks like Nice Adelin's wish for an Airlink route terminating at Airport Parkway became true. Here's the interior of the Class 345. It looks really nice. And so does the cabin. I enjoyed driving and riding the Class 345 on the Airlink shuttle. However, I think it could have had more routes. Before 1.10 came out, I predicted that it would have run slow Airlink services from Stepford Central to the airport terminals, but it turns out it is limited to the terminals shuttles. I guess for a slow Airlink route from Stepford Central to the airport area to happen, they'd have to revamp the Morganstown area. At least the Class 345 doesn't run on the regular Airlink routes, because it wouldn't make sense for it to do so. In addition to the new Class 345, there are two new Airlink routes for the regular Airlink trains. These are Stepford Central to Terminal 3, going through Terminal 1, and Stepford Central to Terminal 2, skipping Terminal 1. Both of these routes call at St Helens Bridge. The new Terminal 3 route also calls at Morganstown, and the new Terminal 2 route also calls at Ellesmere Junction and Airport Parkway. I've got to say they are not bad routes. There have also been some new depots and sidings. Here is the depot at Farley, used by Connect, Waterline and Airlink trains. Quite a useful depot I have to say. There are also sidings at Esterfield, which are also quite useful. One concern about version 1.10.0 is that the operator and network maps aren't appearing. But I guess the developers didn't have time to implement the new maps, and they wanted to get the update out to everyone. I am very hopeful they'll add them in version 1.10.1. Now, I'm gonna move on to the conclusion. Overall, I quite like version 1.10. It has a lot of station upgrades which look better than before. However, the only downside is the replacement of the green wall at Terminal 1 with a grey one. At least the concourse is a good addition to Terminal 1. I think the best part about the update is the waterline extension, which has 3 stops instead of 1. But I've gotta say, I think it's a good thing the extension has more stops. The second thing I liked the most was the addition of the Class 345, and due to the fact that it only uses the shuttle services on L-Link, it makes a lot of sense on the operator. However, what will put off a lot of people from it is the price, at 4,500 points. At least I was able to afford it. But overall, I enjoyed driving and riding it. Before I go, I have a question for all of you. What do you think of version 1.10? What did you like the most and what did you not like the most? Tell me in the comments. That's all I have to say. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe for future content, and I will see you later.